What's up, everybody? Brian Peacock back. Epic Outdoor Adventures. Another plant identification for you guys. This here is an edible and a medicinal plant. This here is what I'm talking about right here. Alright, this big old leaf is plantain. This is broadleaf plantain, and it has these little flower things on it that hold all the seeds. These are edible. All these seeds are edible. The plantain itself is edible, kind of like a lettuce. It also has medicinal effects for it as well, internally and externally. This is a great plant for the skin. Skin irritations, poison ivy, bee stings, minor scrapes, and not open wounds, but bruises, things like that. You can take this stuff here and just crush it all up into a poultice, and then use it on the infected area, or the rash or whatever you have on your skin. Stuff works very well. When the kids get stung by a bee or something at a playground, I always run to this. This grows just about everywhere that I have ever been at, in people's yards, just on the side of the road. It's a very, very common plant, and this is the broadleaf plantain. Let's go over a quick identification. Let's look at the leaf itself. It always has those veins that run down, spread out all the way down, and then stay separate all the way down onto the stem. All right, they all do that. So that's a key identifying factor to broadleaf plantain. All right, there's also a narrow leaf plantain that grows here as well. I don't see any offhand here, but I'll get some of that for you as well. Here is the narrow leaf plantain, okay? Right here it is. They also call it ribbon leaf plantain, and you can see that the same identifying factors as the broadleaf. It has those veins that run down, all separate, down onto the stem, just like the broadleaf plantain does, but this is just a skinny, long leaf. And this is also the plantain. It's just the narrow leaf plantain. The little seed pod isn't as long. It's just a small little seed pod. They'll have these little hairs kind of that stick off of them when they're fresh. This one's pretty old. Actually, here's one. Still has a couple of them little. Let me see if I can focus it there. Yeesh. Sorry, guys. There we go. You can see just some of them still hanging on, but they'll have that little stuff growing all in it. Here's some more. It's farther along here. You can see all these little tassels are all this narrow leaf plantain that's growing right there. It grows in clumps, just like that. That's all narrow leaf plantain sitting right next to broadleaf plantain. So here's the broadleaf plantain, and here is the narrow leaf plantain growing right next to each other. All right. So check it out. Do your own research, like I said, on plantain. The uses for it: it's great for the skin as a topical treatment for itching, rashing, bug bites, skin irritations, bruising, different things like that. It works great for. Like I said, this is a very common plant. It can be found in just fields, open areas. It likes full sun, yards, side of roads, ditches, things like that. That's going to get full sun. It loves to grow in that. Very useful plant. I use it quite often. So check out the plantain. This is not a plantain like the banana plantain. This is a wild plantain plant. All right, so look it up. Do your own research on it before you use it. Like I said, always know what you're using. You identify it yourself. Don't take anybody else's word for it. I'm just trying to teach some knowledge that I've learned. I'm not professional. I do not recommend using anything unless you yourself know what it is. And hostas are just starting to bloom as well. There's the purple flowers coming out. Hostas are finally blooming. Alright guys, here's another plant ID for you. This plant right here looks almost like clover leaves, but it has heart-shaped leaves, 3 heart-shaped leaves, and it gets these little yellow flowers. It just stormed here, and they're all closed up at the moment, but they'll have little yellow flowers, and this grows just about everywhere in your yard, along the sides of the roads, in your garden bed. It's right here on the side of my garden. This here is an edible plant. This here is wood sorrel. Wood sorrel is definitely edible raw. I eat it in salads. It's pretty good. You need to try it if you want to get into eating some more edible plants, especially out of your yard. This one grows just about everybody's yards. There's the thunder. And it's a very common plant, very edible. It's an invasive plant. It just grows everywhere. So, you know, do your own research before eating anything. Here's another medicinal plant here for you guys. This here is a wild lettuce. There is quite a few different varieties of wild lettuce that grow around this country. I'm not quite sure how many different ones grow here, but wild lettuce almost looks kind of like a dandelion at first when it starts coming up because of the leaves, but they are a little different than the dandelions. And this here plant is used medicinally as a painkiller. You can make painkiller by taking the sap out of this. It's like a white latexy liquid, and you can either use it that way, or you can dry it up and make a powder out of it and use it as a painkiller. They call this poor man's opium, but it is not an addictive. It doesn't get you high, but it does cut back on some of the pain from a painkiller point of view. This plant will always have a white, see that white milky stuff coming out of there? That right there, that is the pain medicine itself. Alright, and you can use that straight, you can chew that, toothaches and things like that. You can use it other ways as well for headaches and stuff like that. But that's exactly what you use right there. There's quite a few different ways that you can use this. But again, you know, don't use anything in the wild unless you yourself know exactly what you're using and what you're using it for, the benefits of it, and the side effects of it as well. So just because things are good for you doesn't always mean that there isn't any bad things with it. All right, so always look into using any medicinal plant or edible plant, mushrooms, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, you know the deal. Peace.